So I just got a notice in the mail that the family court date, has been rescheduled once again, further inconveniencing my wife and I, causing us to take more time off for work, while I'm left here picking up all the pieces of a really sad and tragic death of my father, with all the debt that was left for me to be responsible of. It couldn't be more clear and obvious that when Andreas threatened my wife and I that he's going to make our lives miserable, that's what he's been trying to do. Unfortunately, it's just been very inconvenient for me to have to now deal with Andreas making false accusations, false statements, lying to a judge under oath. That's perjury, saying that he lives here. He doesn't live here. All he has to do is get his stuff at the studio. He's going to get a little insurance money, which my father and I were really reluctant to even to give to him. We were going to actually call the insurance company and remove him as the beneficiary, but he was sick, and that's why there's a handwritten will and there's videos to testify as to my dad's last wishes, and there shouldn't be any question about what my dad's intentions were. He's not responsible. He doesn't want the responsibility of this house. He never has, and he never will. Okay? He's incapable of even securing himself his own apartment and paying his own bills. He was constantly relying on my father and him to give him money, demanding it right up until he died. Now, what he's doing with constantly making these court dates, he forced us to get orders of protection against him because he was threatening us, and he's assaulted me in the past. Okay, now to constantly have to move my life around and inconvenience my income based on these court dates is completely unacceptable to me. It's a horrible thing to have somebody who's in the family who's mentally ill, and my father was very ashamed of it, and we tried to keep it on the down low. We tried to protect Andreas and tried to not make the world know that he's a registered sex offender and that he's got a violent felon conviction. But it's a little too late now. The cat's out of the bag. He's badmouthed me and insulted me and made up lies about me repeatedly, and it's unforgivable how he treated my father. And it's unforgivable. On the day my dad is dying, he breaks in here and steals his camera, takes all the padlocks off the locks downstairs with the stainless steel cabinets that held my dad's valuable cameras and his lenses, and took that, sold it, okay? And then he takes the rest of the photos and the lenses and just tosses them around on the floor all over the place. No regard for the artwork. Told my dad his artwork is bullshit. Right up until he was dying. Told my dad on the phone his artwork is bullshit, that the house is bullshit, and that you should sell the house. Okay, I'm not going to allow that. And then my father didn't want that. My mom and dad worked hard for this house. So did I. I've been helping my father pay the mortgage and the bills in this house. I just helped him refinance it. I fixed all the holes in the roof and the ceiling. Okay, and I've worked very hard to preserve my father's legacy and have a business here. Okay, and I'm not going to let some mentally ill, adolescent, deranged sibling of mine ruin everything. Okay, because these court dates are what he just has been doing over the past 20 years. You can look in his record. He's constantly in and out of court. There's constantly orders protections against him. There's constantly girls accusing him of assault. He's effing crazy. Okay, and I hope to God, because God knows the truth, I hope to God that this gets resolved soon, because it's interfering with my work life. Okay, and it's very upsetting to me, and it's even more upsetting that the strangers it's now in the hands of people who don't even know the history of what's happened in this family. It's up to them to decide what happens here. Okay, the police have been very nice and polite, but that's a malicious use of the police that my brother's done time and time again. Okay. And there shouldn't be any question about my father's last will and intentions. I have handwriting samples. I have videos. Okay, he was sick. There was a pandemic, and I was taking him to and from the hospital, overwhelmed, making him 3 meals a day and cleaning up feces and urine off of my father. Okay? And my brother Andreas has done nothing to help but only make things difficult.